iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to Darlington, South Carolina. Tonight we have at Too Tough to Tame, the Lady in Black. I am, of course, with Turn 3 Racing Network, Brett the Jet on the mic. Of course, I'm here with my brother Carson. Carson, you want to say hi? Alrighty, folks. So, we're looking at a good one here. We're just wrapping up practice here at this 1.3 mile racetrack. The tricky thing tonight, two different ends, two different ways to drive this track. Only one winner. Who will do it? We have seen Andrew Payne go on a hot streak here. Two races in a row. He has won. Can he make it 3 in a row? Will we see someone else get it? We have last season's champion, Tanner Tallarico, in the field tonight. Right now, P2. We got some new faces and new places here tonight as well. Could a newcomer get it done here and tame the Lady in Black? Be sure to tune in here and be a part of the action. Be sure to grab a drink, grab a snack, because we're about to click over to qualifying. As of right now, we have Andrew Payne at the top of the board right now. Tanner Tallarico in second. Ron Hart in the 051 machine in third. Eric Papanow in the 43 machine in fourth. And Jeff O'Quinn rounds out your top 5, leading the blue division. And tonight, folks, we got throwback night. So a whole bunch of throwback paint schemes. It's going to look sweet out here tonight. I will be a little bit confused here with the paint schemes, but that's all worth it in the grand scheme of things because it will look sweet out on track. Be sure to comment your favorite car and driver paint scheme tonight because it might be different than the normal night. As we will see who's going to roll out of pits here first. As we'll get some race info. Tonight's race is the Too Tough to Tame 157 here at Darlington. Like I said before, a 1.31 mile racetrack here. Looking at about 86 degrees Fahrenheit with an 84 degree track temperature. So it's going to cool on off as the night goes on. Be sure to check out Tagare Property Management. The Sportsman Series is brought to you by Tagare. If you need any property management down in the Carolina regions, be sure to check out Tagare. Also, from ASRC, be sure to check out PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, QuickTime Motorsports Media, Mike's Custom Garage and Speed Shop, and the 399 Esports Gang. And be sure, if you like what you're seeing out on track, be sure to join the AmericanSimRacingClub.com. There are still pit stalls available here in the series. We'd love to see you out on track, folks. As we get rolling here in qualifying, we got the first car out on track. It looks like the 710 machine of Dan Parmalee. We'll see where he winds on up. A sweet throwback scheme out of the 710 machine. It should be interesting to see where he can put this car out on track. Floats it into turn 3. That is the hardest corner right there. Floating it into 3 with keeping it off the wall, keeping the momentum, and trying to get that drive on off. As we see the 710 machine blink on out, come back in, and we'll cycle to P3. We got the 951 machine of Brian here, but a 6 on the car. We'll see where Brian can slot on in as he takes his first time lap here at the line. Excuse me, he was coming to green that time, so we'll see where this sweet number 6 machine can slot on in. Brian looks like he's carrying some big momentum down the backstretch, floats it into turn 3 at the bottom, lets it drift on up. Getting on the loud pedal there, and we'll see what kind of run he can get off of turn 4. It looks like a pretty decent lap. Should put him in the top 5 as he comes across the line just in 6th. So we will go to the board here and see where everyone slots on in. As he will try and better his second lap here, folks. As Ron Hart has now jumped to P2 on the charts. We will see if Brian can better his lap from lap 2. And he does not, so he'll stick in P2. Now we'll go to the 52 machine of Austin Nielsen. He's coming around. To take the green flag. First time lap for the 52 Napa machine. We'll see where he can slot on in on the time charts. Right now, the quick time awards going to that 93 machine. We'll see if anyone can challenge him that hasn't qualified yet. As Austin comes in on the top side, trying to carry that momentum. Gets in that throttle way early. Gets a good run off, a little wiggle there. We'll see where this 52 can slot on in. And P3 lap number 1, we'll see if he can better it this second lap and really push it to its limits, folks. As the 52 comes around the backstretch for the final time, floats it in on 3, right on the wall, and gets it, folks. We're going to see that all night long with people just floating in there a little too hard into 3 and getting that wall. And because this is iRacing, any sort of contact will disallow a lap. That's why we see the 53 machine park it right there. Going to be an action-packed night here, folks. 115 laps around this place. Going to go by very quick. Got a competition caution thrown in there, so we'll at least have one yellow flag for everyone to get their bearings, get the cars underneath them, because this race will take every lap of focus, especially how close you got to drive to these walls and how aero-sensitive these cars on iRacing are to wall contact. So everyone will have to bring their A game. As we click over to the start of the race, Andrew Payne with the Quick Time Award will have to run through the rest of the grid here for the starting order for the Too Tough to Tame 157. Up on pole position, we got the 93 machine of the Payne train, Andrew Payne. Starting to his outside, Ron the Hitman Hart in the 051 machine will be starting on the outside. Starting second row on the inside, we got Austin Nielsen in the 52 machine. Starting to his outside, Eric Papanow in that neon green black machine. Starting in your fifth position, we got Dan Parmley in the 710.
Brett, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, Carson.
I've been having some audio problems, but I can pick up from there. So starting in 6th place is the 94 car of Jeff O'Quinn. And in 7th place is the 951 of Brian Wildison, I believe. In 8th place is the 75 car of Justin Callahan. In 9th place is the 59 machine of Nathan Henry. And then rounding out your top 10 is the 5 car of Nathan Gu.
Starting P11 is Steve Cigars in the 973. In the 12th position, we got Tanner Tallarico in the 1. 13th is Kyle Munson in the 28. 14th is Al Smith Jr. 15th is John DeMeester. 16th is Adam Smith. 17th is Garrett Austin. And rounding out your field, joining at the last second, is Dylan Butler in the 958. Carson, this should be a sweet one. We're looking forward to it, and it's about to get wild here in this race very quickly. As the grid is moving down the track here, we'll get a shot of them at that pole car. The 93 machine, a little bit different paint for most drivers, if not all drivers out here tonight. A bunch of throwbacks. We love to see it.
Yeah, Brett, I've said multiple times to myself now, I guess, that I'm excited for this race tonight. It should be a lot of fun, and hopefully my mic will stay on now.
Yeah, hopefully, Carson. So, real quick, who's your pick for tonight's winner? I got my money on the one machine of Tanner Tallarico.
I like Austin Nielsen, Brett. We saw a lot of speed out of him last week, and kind of the first few races the first race or two, we hadn't really talked about him, and then last week he was really fast, so he seems to have carried that over, the momentum into this week, and I expect to see another great run.
As we are green flag racing here for the first time at Darlington, Andrew Payne with a great restart, Ron Hart able to slide on behind him, and then that clears out the rest of the field as we look a little bit further back, some side-by-side action around the 10th position. As we see Tanner Tallarico already making the move on some cars here early.
And yeah, Brad, I was saying earlier again, without the microphone picking it up, but he's a one to watch here tonight. He's always fast here at the end, and he could give Andrew a real run for his money. I like him as your pick.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to sit in the back, save some tire, and see what he can do as we go back up to the front. Andrew Payne continue to lead the way, but Ron Hart right on his tail, making sure that the 93 V&H Fresh machine doesn't get too far ahead. Carson, you might need to have maybe a Darlington stripe counter if you can on hand. We'll have to see how many we can get up to. I bet we'll at least have 15 to 20 by the end of the night.
Yeah, Brad, I'd say we would have like one per driver. Every driver needs to get at least one, right?
Yep, they got to earn their stripe somehow, and tonight they'll earn it by kissing that wall. The question is, how hard will he kiss it? Ron Hart in the 051 machine, loose off of turn 4. Going to lose a little bit of time to the leader, but he's got to manage that right rear. We saw him kind of struggle with that here at Chicagoland, so he's got to take his foot off the loud pedal a little bit earlier. He's once again sliding off the corner. That right rear is not going to be too long for life if he keeps that up. As for the most part, Carson, the field has spread on out, kind of gotten to their own groove, making sure that they manage their car, manage their race up until this competition caution. So they are doing everything right here early in this race.
Yeah, Brian, for someone like Ron Hart, They're just trying to survive to the competition caution, because that's at least a good point to reset, get your car, new tires, new gas, and go back out there and try to make a run in the second half of the race.
Yeah, as we see Nathan Henry here, these cars are some of the 3 closest on track right now. Just all of them hitting their marks, just managing their race, like I said before. Keeping everything underneath them here as the 051 and maybe the 59 and maybe the 94 got on the wall. We saw some sparks further on up, and then we saw the 59 just move a little bit there. So we may have 2 on the Darlington stripe counter already early in this race. As we look back a little bit further, and oh man, John DeMeester hard into the wall off of turn 2. That Blue Deuce already has some heavy right side damage here early in this race. So not what John wants to see early in this race. But Carson, what's your feelings on the 75 car? Down 7 spots right now for Justin Callahan. You think he's really saving his car, really saving his stuff, make sure that thing stays in one piece for this competition caution?
Well, yeah, I would say that's probably part of it, but I think he's laying back right now and doesn't want to get too racy early. You saw kind of what happened last week, and he might not want to repeat that again this week.
That is right, Carson, as we are looking at this awesome-looking orange and white Sitco number 75 machine of Justin Callahan. Another great paint scheme out here tonight. I think we'll have to do at some point, Carson, a walk through the field of all these paint schemes up close and personal while they're out on track, because, man, there are some killer ones out here tonight.
Yeah, Brett, that would be super cool. There are a lot of sweet schemes here for this throwback race here tonight.
Yeah, as we go to the front once again of Andrew Payne. Now, Ron Hart once again loose off of turn 2 all the way down to the apron. He might be calling it a night, Carson, with that much wheel spin. He's way off the pace and maybe bringing that 051 machine down pit road, saying this setup is too dangerous to drive.
Yeah, I thought we would at least see him push to the competition caution, try to get a reset there, but might have just been too much for him to deal with tonight, so that's a bummer for him. We've seen him have good speeds in practice and qualifying the last 2 weeks, and then have trouble with the tires during the race. So,
yeah, that is a bummer if we see the 051 machine of Ron Hart out this early. He is a big force to reckon with on the Wednesday night short track series. So, a bummer to see that car out this early with that much speed out of that mellow yellow 051 machine. As we look to the front, Carson, I wanted to talk about this paint scheme a little bit of Andrew Payne's, the V&H Fresh 93 machine. Now, most folks at home will probably say, oh man, how can he throw back to only a Kyle Larson scheme or a Ricky Hendricks scheme? But this is actually throwback to Andrew Payne's Mini Cup car that he got his first win in way back in the day. So a throwback to the Mini Cup that Andrew Payne raced while he was a kid. So pretty cool stuff there out of the 93 camp. We got more fun facts coming as this race continues to click away. We are around 13 of 115 already.
Brett, I knew when I saw the scheme it was that. How could you not recognize that famous scheme?
Exactly, I know. I'm a little out of touch from my California Mini Cup schemes. As we go back and look at second place, Carson's pick of the night, Austin Nielsen. That 52 Napa machine seems to have pretty good pace, Carson. How are you thinking about your pick so far?
Yeah, Brett, I like him. I like we saw last week, he was right there toward the front of the field and had pace all throughout all 3 sessions, practice, qualifying, and the race. So I think he's got momentum after last week's strong performance. I think he's carrying that into tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Austin may be a force to reckon with as the season goes on. Had a ton of speed last week, like we saw, finished on the podium, and right now It's early in this race already, I know, folks, but setting himself up to have more success. And that's all you can ask for here at a place like Darlington. As we continue to go down the field a little bit, now we'll look at the 710 machine of Dan Parmalee. A pretty sweet looking scheme there with the black and the red. Very simple scheme, but very effective as they go around John DeMeester in the 2, so he will be the first lap down. So Dan Parmalee, we haven't seen him out here. We haven't gotten to talk to Dan, I feel like, in a minute. So we definitely he's definitely in his element here at a tough track like tonight with how important tires are. So we'll definitely be seeing the 710 machine towards the front here.
Yeah, Brett, he's had some speed in these other races here early in the season, but hasn't quite had the results to go along with it. I've seen him in a few unfortunate wrecks, so hopefully tonight kind of bounce back from the tough weeks he's had, and he's definitely one to watch here toward the end of this race.
And as you're talking, Carson, another car earned its Darlington stripes. The 43 machine of Eric Papineau clipped the wall going out of turn 3, and then the lapper there in the wall hard coming off of turn 2. Luckily, Eric Papineau able to get around cleanly, but the 43 machine now has some damage. But another sweet looking paint scheme, Carson. Some neon green with some black. Eric Papineau with the PPM crew, always with some killer paint schemes. And then we go back one more car, Carson. We could say he's always running a throwback scheme with this 94 McDonald's machine, Bill Elliott machine, but Jeff O'Quinn leading the blue division in 5th with his always a throwback scheme, running that thing strong once again. I think Jeff O'Quinn, Carson, will be the force to reckon with this blue division.
Yeah, Brett, I agree. We've seen him not only winning the blue division side of things in races, but he's also been really battling for a podium finish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the podium here very soon.
Yeah, we saw Kyle Munson start to put together that well of runs at the end of the season where he was on the podium of the overall with the blue division. So I think we could see maybe the same results as Jeff O'Quinn continues to get a hang of these Xfinity cars.
And right now, Brett, are some drivers hanging back here?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you don't want to do is go a lap down before this competition caution, but you can go as slow as you need to for the pace here as these guys continue to battle. And the biggest thing is you got to keep this car clean as we see some pretty significant right side damage to the 96 machine of Al Smith Jr. That's not what you want to do before this competition caution, but luckily they do have that caution to try and put some bare bond on these cars, do a little repair, and try and help the aerodynamics. Even though this is a 1.3 mile, aerodynamics still always matter in these Xfinity NASCAR style cars.
And Brett, I'll ask you, if you were out there and it was just a few laps to the competition caution, would you dial it back or would you still be pushing?
Oh, I'll be dialing it back big time, Carson. And I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet. I'll bring it up again here in case anyone's listening out on track. I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone pit right before the competition caution. I wouldn't be, if I was in the shoes of like Dan Parmalee about 5 seconds back, or Austin Nielsen now in the 3rd position, I'd be thinking about that, trying to dive down into pit road before they throw that yellow to try and get an advantage and start on the front. But we'll have to see if anyone decides to do that. But yeah, anytime before this competition caution, Carson, definitely dialing it back, making sure that I don't make a silly mistake on these worn tires and hit the wall when it doesn't really matter, let's say. And we look further back in the field. The 958 Taylor Swift machine, Carson. Looking pretty sweet. I don't think that's a throwback to anything, but while we're looking at him, he is the biggest mover of the race. Up 17th position. Started shotgun on the field tonight. Dead last and up to P11, knocking on the door of the top 10. So that 957 machine on the move early in this race. As he looks to get inside the top 10 here, if he can get around Nathan Henry. And Nathan, being the gentleman he is, gets out of the throttle, lets him by. That'll also let Al Smith Jr. on the inside by as well. So Nathan Henry in one corner loses 2 spots, or 1 straightaway, excuse me. As we look a little bit further back in this field, I think there might be a battle developing here. Steve Seagar is in the 973 machine, under fire by the one of Tanner Tallarico. We'll see if Tanner can get another spot here before this competition caution. 973 into the wall there. Carson, that'll open up the door for the one and let him by easily there.
Yeah, Brandon, we're seeing some battles starting to form here right before the competition caution. Some guys trying to fight for spots in these last few laps before we get this caution here.
Yeah, because it's also important to start on the inside of the start, because you won't have to worry about a car below you coming up into you, or you don't have to worry about getting in the wall into one if you overdrive it. So it's all you can hit the preferred line as well. That's probably the biggest thing if you start on the inside on a restart. So everyone trying to get to these odd positions here for the start. As we see Jeff O'Quinn reel in Eric Papanow in that 43 machine. You got to wonder if that damage may be taking a little bit of toll on that thing. And the 97 to the inside going into turn 3. And we see how hard it is to pass, Carson. Pretty much if someone shows you the wheel, you got to back out of it, or else both of you will probably be wrecking coming into the corner or in the middle.
Yeah, as you're saying that, some big hits for the 951 car. That's really going to hurt him here, and he's got Tanner now right behind him.
Yeah, Brian, all sorts of under pressure from Tanner Tallarico, just like we saw with Steve Seagar's just behind him in the 973. Tanner to the inside here going into 3.
And yeah, he'll be looking forward to that competition caution now. He definitely got a lot of damage. 2 good pops to the outside wall, Brett.
Yep, as the competition caution flies around the speedway here, the top 5, excuse me, for some bonus points are the following. Andrew Payne wins the first stage here. Dan Parmalee brings it home in P2, up 3 positions. Third place is Austin Nielsen in the 52. Fourth place and leading the blue division, Jeff O'Quinn in the 94. And rounding out your top 5. And for the final point position here in this stage, Eric Papanow in the 43. So now, Carson, we'll see all the cars come on down pit road, take some fresh rubber, try and see what they can do, see how bad they wore those tires there the first time to get a little bit of a data reading.
And Brad, I could see this competition caution having a big factor in this race. I see that we had 2 packs, kind of the 5th and up pack and the 6th and back pack. So those drivers in the backpack on fresh stuff like Tanner, we could see him make or Kyle Munson, we could see them both make a big move here in the next segment of this race.
Yeah, I could see the likes of Tanner Tallarico, like you said, Kyle Munson as well, and Dylan Butler, all really moving through this field, as they are some of the biggest movers already early in this race, and I think they'll continue to try and improve that. As we see everyone down pit road here, As everyone gets to their boxes, and we'll see 4 tires and fill it on up with Sunoco fuel. As we see the 93 machine of Andrew Payne win the race off of pit road. But how about Jeff O'Quinn with a blistering stop, Carson, all the way to P2. That is pretty impressive. Dan Parmalee with a long stop there, Carson. That's going to hurt the 710 machine. Maybe he had to have an extended stop to repair some optionals, but all the way down in the 5th position. Eric Papanow, we saw that damage on that 43 car, all the way still on pits, finally getting it rolling. That body looking a lot better, though, on that 43 machine. As the rest of the guys on pit road better get rolling so they don't become a lap down. As we see Nathan Henry and Nathan Goot just get out and pits in time just before going a lap down.
And Brett, are you surprised we haven't seen any wrecks bring out a caution yet with how many guys we've seen get into the wall? You'd think at some point one of those wall hits would turn a guy sideways and collect some cars.
Yeah, especially with getting in the wall, it's definitely because of a tight situation. These tires, if you're too aggressive on them, will start pushing like a dump truck and you won't be able to turn at all. That car will go straight in the wall. So the only time you would wreck is if you really pound the wall with a lot of force, or if you have so much wheel in it trying to keep it off the wall that it snaps around on you. So luckily it's a pretty controlled wall hit for the most part, but I think we'll definitely see it be turned up a little bit here on this start, knowing that it's a long run after, and positions will be the easiest to pick up now versus later in this race, if it goes green.
And Brett, Tanner Tallarico, did he have a big stop there?
Yeah, him and Jeff O'Quinn with some of the quickest times on pit road. Both of them under 15-second stops. So some great stops out of both those cars, and both those cars starting the first 2 cars on the outside. Not the place they want to be, but up front and hopefully out of the chaos. As the lights are extinguished on the pace car, Carson, that means going green. Next time by, Andrew Payne will once again lead this field to green, just like the initial start. The 93 machine has led every lap so far. We'll see if he can continue this trend.
Yeah, Brett, look for him to fire off eagerly and early here.
As the pace car makes the hard left-hand turn down pit road. Now we'll wait for the 93, the paint train, to fire on off. He fires on off early, gets a great start. Jeff O'Quinn with a little bit of wheel spin. Now open up the door for Austin Nielsen going into turn 1. And everyone files on out in the front, but further on back, some side-by-side action. We got Justin Callahan trying to hang it out on the bottom, and contact between the 75 and the 59. Both keep it the right way. As now they have single filed out for the most part, Carson. These front guys are all in a line just waiting for one car to make a mistake. As Andrew Payne trying to outrun the 52, but Austin Nielsen gaining ground on the leader.
Yeah, Brad, Andrew Payne isn't running away with it as he was early in this race. It looks like he's not coming out as dominant.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to save a little bit of tire, just try and pace it as well as the 52, or maybe this changing track with the the sun setting and that sort of thing, maybe the 93 machine may not adjust as well as the cars around him. We'll have to keep an eye on this, as Andrew Payne still getting hounded by that 52 Napa machine.
And Brad, Austin Nielsen, you got to think's a driver knocking on the door for a win this season.
Yeah, I think we'll at least talk to him once in victory lane. That guy has way too much speed in that car. He's showed short run speed, long run speed, and I think once we get to these smaller tracks like tonight, these skill tracks, I think we'll see that 52 machine really shine. As folks at home, this track is such a hard track. We'll go ride on board with the Tagare onboard machine of the 52 machine just to see what we're seeing from Austin Nielsen. As this track is such a hard track, Carson, you got to be pinpoint accurate, hitting your marks on the brake, on the throttle, not rolling too much, not rolling too early, because any sort of mistake will put you in that wall. As you hear, you got a double apex 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4, you really got to be patient on that throttle, but also not overdrive 3. It is such a driver's track, this Darlington Motor Speedway, as any sort of mistake, any sort of wrong move will end, could potentially and very easily end your night. As you ride on with Austin Nielsen, the car in front of you only makes it harder as you start to lose some of your marks and where to maybe lift at and all that fun stuff too. So a very challenging track here tonight, but a very rewarding one once you nail it and have a good race at it. As we look a little bit further back here, the one machine starting to apply the pressure to the 710 machine of Dan Parmalee. But also right behind him, the biggest mover, Dylan Butler, still on the move. Still looking to crack inside this top 5. And Carson, I think he's going to do it here very soon.
Yeah, Brad, I would agree. You have Tanner, Dylan, and Kyle all making big moves right there in the line and in the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. So I think all those guys are going to have a lot of speed here toward the end of the race.
I agree, Carson. As we'll pull up a battle box for all these guys and show you how close they are, as Tanner Tallarico to the inside. Now we'll see Dan Parmalee actually try and fight back on this outside. Dan Parmalee not giving up the spot easy, knowing that if he gives it up, he's going to lose at least 2 spots as they go drag racing down into turn 1. We don't see this too often here at Darlington. As the 710 machine in the wall, Carson. That's why we don't see it too often. As he is able to get on the loud pedal and slide back in front of Dylan Butler, but Dylan's only going to have to take a few laps as that 710 machine now has some right side damage. That's going to slow that car down a good bit. As we'll see on the relative there, Tanner Tallarico start to drive away from the 710, and now the 958 of Dylan Butler close on in.
Yeah, Brad, with these guys battling, it's opening up the door for the drivers behind them to catch up.
Yeah, Kyle Munson can start to smell blood, especially if these guys get side by side once again and Dan Parmalee decides to race Butler as well. Dan Parmalee loose off of turn 4. That car is going away in a hand basket very quickly, Carson. You think that damage affect that car? It looks like he lost all sorts of side force on that 710 machine.
Yeah, Brett, that was a pretty good hit. I would not be surprised if that's affecting the car pretty good right now.
Yeah, I agree. And it's going to only get worse as these tires wear around that damage. So Dan Parmley may have his hands full. Looking to get it more under control now. I'm sure he's trying to relearn how to drive that car with that damage. As Andrew Payne has drove away from Austin Nielsen just a little bit, about a half a second gap from the leaders. And then all the way 2 seconds back is our third place driver and our Blue Division leader, Jeff O'Quinn, in the 94. Jeff O'Quinn having an awesome race. Carson, we're talking about how he was knocking on the door for podiums right now in it, but has one of the toughest competitors behind him, Tanner Tallarico, in that one car, closing in the gap here very quickly. As we see them go around the lap car of John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce. Gotta give a shout out to John DeMeester. If we had a most consistent driver, I think he's one of them. He shows up to every single ASRC race, so we gotta appreciate the drivers like John DeMeester out here putting in the time, and it doesn't go unnoticed, John.
Yeah, Brett, I think I heard that he's run the most laps in the in all of ASRC, so that's a special accomplishment in its own right there.
Yep, John DeMeester is the current lap leader from Sim Racer Hub, so pretty cool stat there from the Blue Deuce. So we'll go to Kyle Munson. Not quite the full orange scheme we're used to this season. A little bit of pink thrown in there. A very 70s, especially 80s looking scheme out of this 28 car, Carson, tonight. Kyle Munson currently running in the P7 machine, the Team Losi 28 machine. Looking very sporty out here. Right around the halfway mark, Carson. We're about halfway in, halfway to go in this race just about.
Yeah, Brad, right now Andrew's just kind of being the pace car, pacing the field. I don't know if anyone's really going to have anything for him unless we get a caution here.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to be on his own a little bit for the most part, but we'll have to see how he can manage those tires. And if we have green flag pit stop, Carson, this is one of the trickiest, I believe it is the trickiest track to get down pit road. Absolutely no banking down there versus up on the track, so you got to not only hit your marks but not overblow the pit road and miss pit road completely. You also got to worry about spinning out, so a lot to think about, a lot to worry about if we have green flag pit stops here later in this race. Has a little bit of connection issues from one of the drivers. I think the 958 of Dylan Butler might be in trouble here, Carson.
Yeah, it does look like that is the case here, Brett.
So a bummer for that team if that's the case. Was about to click inside the top 5, by far the biggest mover, so a heartbreak for that 958 as he was showing a great run here early in this race. As we look at the leader, and almost a tank slapper going into one, Carson. Saw some sparks from that right rear, but doesn't look like any damage from that 93 machine, but a scary incident there because as you see that one car within a quarter lap of a track from the leader and still slowly catching as this time by as the 93 crosses the flags. We see cross flags halfway home, halfway to go in the Too Tough to Tame 157. As we see Tanner Tallarico around Jeff O'Quinn for the third spot. So put the one car back up in the podium.
Yeah, and it looks like Austin Nielsen might be having a bit of trouble with the car right now, so he might be able to take second here as well pretty soon.
Yeah, those tires are probably falling on off for the 52, just trying to baby them. Make sure he stays off the wall, but it's a frustrating feeling knowing that your tires are going and there's not much you can do besides keep on backing down your corners till you make it turn and keep it off the wall. Got to keep on throwing rear brake bias in till you're almost spinning it with this place, that's for sure. As a battle for second place, Tanner Tallarico able to haul it into turn 3, get to the inside of the 52, and a drag race for P2 going into turn 1. Austin Nielsen will be able to defend the spot, but hustles it into turn 1, keeps it off the wall. But we'll see the one car carry the momentum. We'll see if he can get back to the bumper and to the inside of the 52. As we see just that, the one car thinking about it, making the 52 worry as we see Tanner Tallarico back to the inside trying to roll that low line.
And Brett, with the speed we're seeing out of Tanner, I would be willing to bet he has the best managed tires here so far in the second lap.
Yeah, I would agree, Carson, because the tires are only going to get way worse from here, and Tanner is showing the pace that he is consistently running. The key is he has to pass Austin Nielsen as much quickly as he can because it's only wearing his tires a little bit extra as we got a lap car here. And oh man, they both move to the bottom. That's going to slow up Tanner Tallarico big time as the lapper moved with Tanner Tallarico and almost contact down the back stretch.
And that was interesting, Brad. You don't see that too often.
As we will probably not be able to get a replay of that, folks. But yeah, that was almost a very bad incident there between those two. As Tanner Tallarico will now have to keep on truck and get around Jeff O'Quinn again, but now the 94 machine applying the pressure to the 52. So the battle heating up for second, third, fourth, and fifth with Dan Parmley in the back of the shot there.
And right now, Brett, this is 100% what Andrew Payne wants to see. This is just helping him make his lead bigger and bigger by the second.
Yep, that is very true, Carson. Now Andrew Payne up to 4 seconds ahead of this group here, so he is checking on out with these guys all in trouble. Carson, what do you say we do a little crank it up while these cars are close quarters like this here?
I say, Brett, let's crank it up.
Alrighty. And some sweet stuff there, some sweet camera shots, Carson, as we continue to look at the battle for second here out on track. Tanner Tallarico once again back up to the front, and where's Jeff O'Quinn? Did he maybe come into pits? What happened to the 94 machine while we were cranking it up there?
Yeah, Brett, he was in the pits. I don't know what for, but he did go for a quick pit stop.
Alrighty, so we got a battle for second place once again. Tanner Tallarico to the inside. Can't quite get the run off of turn 4 once again. All over the back bumper of Austin Nielsen in the 52, but maybe we got the first car down on pit road for Jeff O'Quinn. Maybe a little bit of damage. Austin Nielsen big time into the wall off of turn 4. That will open up the door for Tanner Tallarico and move the one car into P2. And we got in the YouTube chats, we got Debbie Parmalee cheering on Dan Parmalee in the 710 machine. And then we got the infamous Tim Rogers. You see Dan Parmalee here out on track, folks, applying the pressure for the third position on Austin Nielsen. We'll have to see if he can make up this spot here, as the handling on the 52, like we said, Carson, continues to get worse and worse.
Yeah, Brett. So, do you think we'll see more drivers follow Jeff O'Quinn into the pits here soon?
Yeah, I would think so, especially with how much time, if he's making up much time around him. Maybe we'll go to the 94 car and look at the lap time history to the cars in front, as he is making up about a second and a half to 2 seconds a lap on the car in front of him, so, or excuse me, the car behind. No, I was correct, the car in front, as they continue to, as he was the earliest pitter. Now we have Justin Callahan in the 75 machine down on pit road, so I do like the short stop if he can make it on fuel, Carson. I think that's a good gamble, but he can't see a yellow as we have one car behind him hard in the backstretch wall. As I believe that might have been the 96 machine of Al Smith. Al with some right side damage on that 96 machine, but still in it inside the top 10 already. And right now, with how it's shaken out, currently leading the blue division. As we look for the battle for P3, Dan Parmalee all over the back bumper of the 52. Dan just waiting for one mistake like Tanner saw coming out of turn 2 from Austin Nielsen. Dan just hoping for something similar out of the 52 to get on around him and try and see if he has anything for these top two. So we got another car down pit road. Dan Parmalee just able to roll that middle of the corner so much better than that 52. You can tell that that 710 machine still has some right front grip, still able to get that car to turn, versus the 52 kind of slides it on in there and goes where the car is telling him to. As we hear a little bit of complaints over the radio, Carson, about lap cars here. This place very tough to pass, and it's being heard by all the drivers. So an interesting development here coming out mid-race here at the Lady in Black. So you see Dan Parmalee dart out from the behind the 52, trying to roll this inside groove, not able to do it. We'll see if he can shoot down to the inside, get the power down, as it'll be a drag race coming off of turn 4. As we see behind him, folks, though, Jeff O'Quinn in the 94 trying to unlap himself the hard way, all the way up to 7th position, but still having to get around these guys to keep his pace on up, as he will get by the 710 machine going into turn 3, and probably will do the same for the 52 as well. As you can see just the speed difference of new tires, able to drive around these guys battling for third like they're standing still. Justin Callahan now trying to do the same, 3 wide here, as they all back out of it, decide better of it. A pretty smart choice here this time in the race.
Yeah, Brett, that had me pretty nervous there for a sec, but looks like these guys are going to be patient, and it's a hard spot to be in when you're battling with the guy, but then you're also dealing with guys on new tires flying by you, so that's definitely a difficult spot to be in, and everyone decided to take it easy there.
And oh man, we see Austin Nielsen from third come on down onto pit road. A great entry onto pit, so we'll have to see if these leaders can continue to do the same, if they'll decide to do the same here, because they are dealing with heavy lap traffic. As we look here, everyone but the top 4 has pitted, Carson, so we will have to see when these top 4 decide to come on down pit road. They are only losing time now, but may be able to gain ground on it with dealing with less traffic. As we see the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico make the hard left-hand turn and head down towards the pit entry. As we do see some right rear damage out of that quick time 1 machine, so that will hurt the car's handling a good bit there. As we maybe see a look, almost a wall hit there out of the 93 machine of Andrew Payne. You got to think sometime here soon this 93 car, Carson, has to be coming down pit road, as we see him woe on down from the racing group and bring it on down this time by.
And Brett, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see him come in there, come into the pit sooner. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do like the call to stay out there as long as possible. Andrew had to deal with the less amount of lap traffic, so as long as the less amount of traffic with the lap cars trying to get back around him, so hopefully he can get on through, get clean air, won't have to pass too many cars here from this position. But I do like the 93 machine staying on out from the lead with such a big lead he had. He can afford to stay on out and use these fresher tires by at least 15 laps here compared to the likes of Jeff O'Quinn, excuse me. You see the 93 machine fire on off. Jeff O'Quinn is the race leader here. About a 9-second gap over Andrew Payne. Shows you how much time he was able to make up short pitting. But Andrew Payne will have the pace now with these brand new tires. Will be at least 0.2 a lap, if not more. So Tanner Tallarico was able to close the gap just a little bit between them, about 4.5 seconds, but Tanner will have to hit his marks throughout this whole entire run to be able to give a fight to the 93 car.
Yeah, Brett. I thought that maybe staying out there later would be a bit of a disadvantage to Andrew, but he's already flying through the field, and unless we have a caution here, I'm sure he'll be able to get back up to that first place spot sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I agree, because that 93 machine is moving. Already cut the gap down to the lead about 2 seconds and continue to chip away at it. So Andrew Payne closing the gaps very quickly. I mean, you see the difference to Nathan Goot is still out here on the tires from the competition caution, so An impressive run by that 5 car to have those tires underneath him still not blow on out and cause him to pound this wall at any time. As we see, Nathan Henry hard in the outside wall, trying to stay up out of the way of Andrew Payne. It's so easy to do in a place like this. You know, you want to be courteous to the fast guy, so you stay up high, and just that little bit higher entry makes you pound the wall. As he pounds the wall once again into turn 1, that 59 car probably all junked out now with 2 hard hits to the right side. As now he'll soon be under fire from the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. Tanner trying everything he can to catch that 1 car. As you see him slide all the way off of turn 4, just trying to put the power down, trying to do whatever he can to catch this 93 car, as he is able to get around Eric Papanow for the 2nd position, move the 93 up to P2. Nathan Henry once again into the wall. He is not having a fun time here. That handling going away on that car so fast. That car with the damage probably making it even worse. So a tough break for that 59 Mountain Dew machine. As Andrew Payne already inside of 3 seconds of the leader. The only thing, if Jeff O'Quinn wants to hold this lead, the only thing he can hope for is a yellow. And then everyone will come on in, get on the same set of tires. But as of right now, it's not looking like that, as most of the field is spread on out. As Nathan Goots still has not pitted Carson. He's got to be almost running that tank out of fuel. He's going for the full fuel distance. Not probably the greatest tire move at a track that really eats the tires, like Darlington. So Nathan probably just hoping for a yellow as he's still on the lead lap.
He might just be going for the marathoner achievement.
Yeah, as he does have that right here, as Andrew Payne on the back bumper of Jeff O'Quinn already. Battle for the race lead. The 93 versus the 94 as they come off of turn 4. Andrew Payne able to roll that bottom so well with those fresh tires, able to clear himself with 25 to go. Back the race leader, the V&H Fresh 93 machine. He said he enjoys these tough tracks, Carson, these very skilled tracks, and Andrew Payne able to do that here tonight. And don't want to give him an announcer's curse early, but right now on pace to make it 3 in a row for the Tagare Sportsman Series.
Yeah, bro, with the pace he's had here tonight, it was kind of just a matter of time for him to get back up into that top spot. We'll have to see if he can hold on, though. 25 laps to go. It's still plenty of time.
Yep, it's not over till the fat lady sings, and if I know that 1 car, he still will have a fight in him, even with that right rear damage. If he gets a yellow and can dice it back up with these front runners. Right here, Carson, we got the battle for the 6th position. Kyle Munson in the 28, last season's Blue Division champion, under pressure from Dan Parmley in that 710 machine. Dan keeping the pressure on the 28, waiting for one mistake. 28 loose off of turn 2. That will give the run to the 710. He will look to the inside here going into turn 3. We'll have to see if any of them back on out. As it's close here going into turn 1. Kyle Munson able to defend the position. As Kyle Munson hard in the outside wall. That will give him that will make him lose that position big time. Give the position to Dan Parmley. And now the 28 will have some heavy right side damage here with 21 laps to go in this race. We got the man, the myth himself, old Roger, checking on in. Hopefully, Roger, your broadcast went pretty well over on there. This one's going phenomenal. We only had one yellow competition caution and green flag racing throughout here at the Lady in Black.
As Brett, we have an interesting development here. Jeff O'Quinn is back in the pits.
Yeah, it looks like he does have more right side damage, so I'm not sure if he had to come in to make repairs, or if maybe his tires are too worn and had to come on in, or maybe he's got a scheduled stop. But a interesting choice here to see this 94 machine back down pit road. Going to lose a lot of time and will probably be at least one, if not two laps down. As Andrew Payne about 5.5 seconds over Tanner Tallarico. Just has to make sure he keeps that car clean, doesn't make any silly mistakes, and he'll be looking good. As we look a little bit further on back in this field, Dan Parmley now trying to reel in Austin Nielsen. Austin still struggling with the car's handling a little bit. I think everyone is out here tonight. No happy campers out here. As we will go look at maybe the 5 car of Nathan Guth, the Western Michigan Broncos machine. Not quite an actual throwback, but a little different paint scheme than as usual. A throwback-esque paint scheme out of that 5 car. Pretty sweet looking one at that as well. As we see, contact with the 75 of Justin Callahan. Will that bring out the yellow, Carson? As he is stopped on track facing the wrong way. Gets it rolling here and does not bring a yellow out as he is spun off the racing surface. So that is what the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico wanted to see. Andrew Payne did not want to see that at all, but able to get that thing rolling back again. So a tough break for the 75 Sitco machine here late in this race. As most of this field has spread on out, it's going to take an incident like that to bring out the yellow. This track, just like Daytona and such, have a pretty small racing surface that a caution will come out on. So like we saw with Justin Callahan, if a spin happens off the quote-unquote iRacing surface of the racing groove, iRacing will not throw a yellow. Only a manual yellow will bring out the caution in that case, which it did not there. So another thing to consider, if we do get a yellow flag, it has to be on the racing surface. See Roger in the YouTube chat saying, being thankful that I did not jack his stream. You are very welcome. I finally think I got it mostly under control. As Carson, the way it sits between our pre-race bet, between our driver picks, it looks like I might come out of here with the $5 bet over you. As we actually, as I say that, I jinx him. The 1 car hard in the outside wall in 3 and 4 there. That now gives him his right front some damage. As Tanner Tallarico just trying everything he can, driving the wheels off that 1 car, trying to catch that 93 machine of the Payne train.
Yeah, Brett, I was going to say it's not over till it's over.
As OT Tal started in the back of the field, the biggest mover of the race, up 10 positions, but 1 position short of the money spot, which still belongs to Andrew Payne. He has been on rails. Oh almost an incident there with a lap car. Both of them went low. As maybe a incident further on back, but we do not have a replay of it. As Andrew Payne, for the last couple weeks, Carson, seems like he's been in his own zip code. They better crack down on post-race tech here tonight after another performance out of this 93 team.
Yeah, bro. They may have an extra gear in that car that he's always shifting when he needs it, but
yeah,
he's been really fast these last few weeks. You are right there.
Might have a sequential transmission gearbox like this, I guess, Gen 7 cars. You can't call them the next gen cars as they have been rolled out. Had the clash this weekend in a pretty interesting race there. I wonder if we'll ever see it on the Sportsman schedule.
Oh, Brad, we have a caution with my guy Austin Nielsen. There we go.
Oh, man. We have the 52 around, and we'll go back to the replay, see what brought out the yellow. And, oh, contact between the 710 and the 52. Looks like we'll go back to it, and it looks like just carrying a little bit different speeds through the corner. 710 accidentally gets in the back of the 52. Both do an awesome job keeping it off the wall, but Carson, it becomes party time now. Yellow flag inside of 10 to go. We'll see all the leaders come down pit road here, and this throws a wrench in everything. As we see Andrew Payne rolling down pit road, Tanner Tallarico to fall. Dan Parmley a little bit further back. Dan Parmley did claim that yellow, so he will start at the back of this restart. So he'll give up this third position, and Austin Nielsen will claim it over if he has a quick enough stop. So we'll look at the leader here. We'll actually look at the cars getting a wave around, that being the 973 machine being the lucky dog here. And then some wave around cars of the likes of Nathan Henry, John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce, Adam Smith, Justin Callahan, Nathan Goot, and Garrett Austin. Garrett Austin with that sweet looking 29 WCW Classic Wrestling.
And Brad, how does strategy here change for the 93 car of Andrew Payne? He's been out front kind of cruising now, and now all of a sudden the pressure's on him here. How does his mindset change for these last 10 or so laps?
Yeah, now it's all about go time. Luckily that 93 machine has the short run pace as he was able to put it on pole, but now got a very tough competitor of Tanner Tallarico. Sadly, Tanner will be starting on the outside, so that'll put him at a little bit of disadvantage. But as long as he can slot in behind the 93 car, it's going to be a dogfight here with about 5 to go.
And Brett, this is kind of like Andrew's in a spot of kind of like when the Chiefs played the Bengals. Andrew was up early, just cruising. Now all of a sudden he's under fire. We'll have to see how he reacts and if he can put up the run he was putting up early in the race to hold off Tanner.
Yeah, he did have pressure from Austin Nielsen early in this race, so we know he can hang with a little bit of pressure. But now Tanner Tallarico will be given 110%, applying as much pressure as he can to that 93 car. We'll have to see how he handles it. As this time by, I think we'll see the lights extinguished on the pace car. We will be going green next time by. As we see the cars in front get the wave around, they will get one lap back. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car. Next time by, they'll be going green flag. Once again, Andrew Payne will be controlling this start. He needs to get the restart of his life, get no wheel spin. The one car will have to do the same if he wants a shot at this win.
And Brett, this is where things could get very interesting here for the finish of this race. Only about 5 laps to go here when we take the green flag.
Yep, and the battle for the blue division will be Nathan Gu and Justin Callahan, as those two are the only two on their lap, as we will go. Green flag racing here. As the pace car lights do come back on, we'll delay it one more lap, so the anticipation continues to grow. As they weren't quite sorted out in the back, they'll get them all filed in where they want to go. Flag man showing them where they should go. As this time by, we'll get the one to go. And it'll be inside of 5 laps to go.
And Brett, as I say here, the flagman's trying to get fiercely trying to get this sorted out here. Flipping drivers, trying to get one guy to go up, one guy to go back.
Yep, and that time by, while he was doing it with his third hand, he gave us the open palm that time by. 5 laps to go in this race, 110 down. This is the money time. This is where you make it or break it. We will see who will make it and who will break it. As we see the pace car make the hard left-hand turn, we'll now wait for the 93 to fire on off. And he fires off early, gets a great start. Eric Papanow now to almost the inside of the one. Tanner Tallarico will have to slot on down and see what he can do here going into turn 1. They're all single file on out for the most part. In the front, we'll go further on to the back here. It looks like still everyone single files on out, so we'll go back up to the front. Tanner Tallarico with a bad run off of turn 2. Either got into the wall, got loose. He's under fire from the 43 machine of Eric Papanow. This will let Andrew Payne in the 93 get on away. Tanner Tallarico struggling with that handling of that car. That right side damage taking away all of the side force of that car, making that thing very loose on throttle with some wheel. As we look up to the front here, Andrew Payne continues to cruise through these corners, looking like a cakewalk, able to keep distance with Tanner Tallarico. See popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go here at the Too Tough to Tame 157. Andrew Payne with just over a half a second lead over Tanner Tallarico. Tanner Tallarico with about a half a second lead over Eric Papanow. Everyone spread on out. Everyone just trying to get to the end here. As Andrew Payne will come and see the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by PepsiCo. As Andrew Payne will float it through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Keeps it off the wall, hits his marks, does what he has to do as Tanner Tallarico big time slideways through the corner. This will open up Eric Papanow for one more shot going into turn 3. Let's see if Eric Papanow decides to take it. Eric Papanow to the inside of the 1. Can he make it stick? As they come off of turn 4 here, they will make it stick, make it work. Andrew Payne will win 3 in a row. He gets it done. Tanner Tallarico will bring it home second. Eric Papanow third. That is your top 3. So once again, Andrew Payne, Carson, parks it in victory lane. A great run by that 93 car. Can anyone stop this guy?
I don't know, Brad. I think we see a trend developing these last few weeks, and I think it's one Andrew himself would definitely like to keep up.
I agree, because he is on a hot streak. We'll see him burn it down for the fans here with his throwback 93 scheme. And he was able to tame the lady in black here tonight. As we will go to commercial and come back with our Blue Division winner and our top three. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here trying to get a word with the 5-car here for his Blue Division win. We will see if Nathan Goot has a copy. Nathan, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. A fun race to call here at Darlington. A very tough one here. Looked like a lot of cars struggling. How pumped up are you getting this Blue Division win here tonight?
I would say definitely pumped up. I was kind of shocked that nobody else finished ahead of me. I, struggled through most of the race and just kind of struggling with the balance of the car. Got into the wall quite a few times, but I just kept going and kept giving it to her.
Yeah, definitely a race of attrition, especially around midfield. It seemed like everyone earned their Darlington stripes here tonight. How was the car overall? It seemed like everyone was battling a tight car, especially once the newness wore off these tires.
Definitely was. It was a lot different from how it was in practice and qualifying. It was very tight once the sun went down. Once the tires started wearing away, it got almost uncontrollable. So it was quite a battle. It was a lot of fun to do, and a great race overall.
Alrighty, Nate. Well, how are you looking forward to in 2 weeks here? I know we got a 2-week break. Are you how are you looking to carry this momentum? Hopefully we'll be talking to you more here.
Yeah, I'm just looking to keep on being about as consistent as I can be and keep trying to carry the momentum. Hopefully pick up a win here soon.
Alrighty, that would be awesome. Well, you at least picked up the Blue Division win, but I'm sure you got an overall win in you here sometime in the future. But before we let you go, Nathan, and celebrate it down in the Blue Division victory lane, I'm sure there's got to be some people you got to shout out to for this 5 team here tonight.
Well, I want to. I guess I would shout out Tanner and Andrew. Both helped me out a lot with giving me tips and how to be better on the track. But yeah, I'd also shout out my family and everything too. Family, friends, everybody back home.
Alrighty. Well, Nathan, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we'll talk to you here more in the future. Congrats again at such a tricky track to come home the Blue Division winner. And you have yourself a good rest of tonight.
Thank you, you as well.
Alrighty, folks. That was our Blue Division winner, Nathan Goot, in the 5-car. Now we'll talk to our 3rd place finisher, Eric Papanow. Eric, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. Feels good to be talking to y'all again.
Alright, I bet. How was the car here tonight, and what'd you think of this track? It seemed like everyone was struggling with a tight car, especially once the newness wore off these tires.
It it felt better and better as the race went on for me. I mean, my big issue was I pitted with at lap 66 before that last caution came out, and it got me a good boost there to jump up from what 10th or 11th where I was running before that to third by the time it all panned out. But it felt good overall. Yeah, it was a little bit tight in the center, but back up your corners and ease back into the throttle and didn't give me a problem.
Alrighty, Eric. Well, appreciate the insight. It did seem like you were one of the better cars to roll that middle. I did see you get the wall once. How long was any of your optional repairs tonight? What was the record for the 43 car?
First caution at the stage break, I had 37 seconds, and then I wound up with 36 right on that last pit stop, but wasn't hurting the car, so I didn't do anything with it.
Perfect. That's the best. When you can get damage to help the car, let's say, that's always the best kind of damage.
Exactly.
Alrighty, Eric. Well, looking ahead here in the schedule, 2 weeks from now, I assume you're going to try and carry this momentum for this 43 car. And maybe as a side note, too, if you don't have too much to say about that, why don't you tell us a little bit about this throwback scheme? It's a pretty bright one with the neon green and the black.
Well, I brightened up the original. It's a throwback to Joni Nemechek back in 1994 when he raced for Larry Hendrick. I work for Meineke and showing a little bit of a sponsor love there. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary in business, so having a good time with it and looking forward to probably carrying the Meineke colors the rest of the season. Maybe not in this scheme though.
Awesome, yeah, that is some cool stuff. These colors definitely stood out here, especially as the sun set and it became night out here. But Eric, before we let you go, I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people you got to give a shout out to. Thank you to for this 43 crew.
Of course, as always, got to thank God first. Got to say thank you to Tagare for sponsoring the division. Thank you to you guys at Turn 3 for broadcasting. Thank you to Meineke for the sponsorship. Happy birthday, Meineke. LibertyLive.Church. Tagare, of course, is one of my team sponsors as well. I want to give a shout out to my teammates Skip and Dan and everybody at PPEM, my wife, supports me and allows me to be on here.
Alrighty, awesome, Eric. Well, you go have yourself a good rest of your night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you more in this as the season progresses.
Sure hope so. Still a man on a mission.
Alrighty, that's what we like to hear out of the third place finisher, Eric Papanow. Now we will talk to our second place finisher, the runner-up here tonight, the man that the biggest mover of the race. Tanner Tallarico, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Hey, guys.
All right, so you were the biggest mover of the race, had to deal with a lot of cars, a lot of lap traffic as well. How was this one car feeling, and what was it like out there tonight?
The car was pretty good. There was, yes, obviously started in the back. Didn't want to qualify. Not really running this series for points a whole lot this season, so I didn't really want to take any qualifying points or anything like that away from the guys that are. So just figured we'd start in the back and work my way up through the field, and that's fun for me. I really like racing around people. We got a lot of good guys to race around here in ASRC, so it's always fun when you can kind of race around a little bit of everybody throughout the whole race. And yeah, we running there just before halfway. I was kind of running about 75% the whole time, and I was really quick. I was making up a lot of time on the front pack there before the competition caution. And after that, same thing, was just kind of riding in about fifth or so, and didn't hit the wall or anything like that all night, and got a little bit of damage from a lap car there, and I kind of knew right away that it wasn't great as far as the speed goes, and came down pit road and saw how much damage I had, and that kind of solidified it. So at that point, I kind of forced myself to, run as hard as I could to make up for the damage loss, and it was just too much, and Andrew was out there, and I think that's really hurt me on that restart. I could tell on new tires he was just hooked up and going. But yeah, nonetheless, Darlington's always a blast, and like I said, it's always cool to be able to race around these guys.
Yeah, it did seem like you had some great speed out of that one car, but yeah, Andrew Payne, once again in his own zip code here for the third night in a row. Tanner, it seemed like you were one of the best through the middle. What's maybe a tip or trick we can learn from this one car here from to try and tame this lady in black?
I think part of it is probably just, and I kind of discovered this myself when I was not going 100%, is just making sure that I'm not overdriving the entry of the corner. Not so much in 3 and 4, because that's kind of a straightforward type corner. It's just easy and on the brake and then easy back to the gas. But in 1 and 2, you're kind of playing with the throttle the whole way through the corner, and it seems like if you lift a little early and make sure that you can get the car down to the bottom on entry and then kind of float up there to the wall, if you can get through the center of the corner with the front end turning, you're really able to lay the throttle to it and make up a lot of time through the middle of 1 and 2. And you do got to lift a little bit coming back off the corner, so it's kind of like you got your initial lift into the corner and then a lot of throttle through the center, and then you have like a secondary lift on the exit. And if you can really carry speed and a lot of throttle time through the center of the corner in 1 and 2, you'll make up a lot of lap time. I think that was probably my strong spot all night long, was definitely in 1 and 2. But yeah, it's car definitely had speed, and I enjoy trying to figure out how to get through the tough corners at Darlington.
Yeah, this place is so treacherous. I was saying on the broadcast, one little mistake, you put your car not where exactly you want to, and it can be detrimental to your night. So this place probably took all full concentration for 115 laps here. I bet you're sweating in this virtual cockpit tonight.
Yeah, it's they don't call it the too tough to tame for nothing. It is tough, and it's really a rhythm type track. I think that's why I tend to do decent here every time we come. I really like the rhythm type tracks for some reason. And yeah, I mean, it's the two ends being completely different. You think you got one end figured out, and then you think you might have found something else a little bit better on the other end, but that screws up your whole lap. So you really just got to find like that happy medium on both ends to really make lap time. And I think it's definitely challenging because of that, but it does make it really fun.
Yeah, Tanner, I agree. Well, before we let you go here, I'm sure you got to give a big shout out too for everyone from this one team here tonight.
Yeah, so first and foremost, shout out to QuickTime as well as Premier Racing Setups. I've been helping those guys out a little bit here the last couple weeks, so do want to shout them out just real quick. And then obviously everybody back at ASRC, all of our main partners with PepsiCo, Tagare, Frito-Lay. You guys, obviously at Turn 3, Carson and Brett, I know I tell you guys this every time I can. You guys do a phenomenal job doing this every single week, and what you do does not get taken for granted from us or the rest of the league members or the people watching, so keep that up. You guys do a great job. And all the members here at ASRC that show up every week, greatly appreciate their support for the league. Ultimately they're what makes this league go around, so just a big thank you to all the league members, and hopefully we put on a show.
Alrighty, yeah, I agree, Tanner. You guys put on a awesome show, so we'll let you get going, and we'll go down and go to Victory Lane. You have a good rest of your night, Tanner.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Alrighty, we'll head over to Victory Lane and try and talk to Andrew Payne. Andrew, do you got a copy down in Victory Lane?
I got a copy, Brett.
Alrighty, how was the car tonight? How was it driving? I bet it was driving awesome. And you got to go over, how were you able to do it 3 in a row?
Well, I know tonight, especially being at Darlington, was just ultimate goal was to just not get the wall at all. Keep the car clean till the end. Good old Darlington stripes are kind of a car killer occasionally, and just keeping it clean and everything was just huge. And I kind of did that tonight and kept everything just clean. Didn't make contact with anyone. The wall. It was just a very solid night all around.
Yeah, it did seem like you had to do a little bit of dancing with getting around Justin Callahan to reclaim the race lead after he cycled on through with pits and all that fun stuff. But with that yellow flag coming out late in the race, what was going through your mind? I know you're praying that you didn't see one, and one finally did come out.
Well, kind of the same thing as I had done the whole race of just, obviously don't hit the wall. In those last few laps. But obviously I had to push a little bit harder um, in those last few laps, harder than I'd actually pushed through the entire race. But it was I wasn't quite as nervous about getting a caution flag late because just knowing that I hadn't hit the wall and I had the full capacity of the car. In track position here is huge. As you can probably tell. Just being able to just stay out front, get that good run into 1 and 2 when the green flag did fly for the restart, and just kind of get away from the craziness. Just kind of it was pretty. The restart was solid. But man, I felt okay. Once we got it, especially because I knew that we were all gonna have to take tires.
Yeah, Andrew, and I want to go back to something you said towards the beginning of there. You said, I just got to keep it off the wall so casually. In a place like Darlington, that's a lot harder than just saying that at a place like this where any sort of mistake, even entering a Carling tire, can potentially put you in the wall and end your night here.
Yeah. This place is known. As I said earlier, the Darlington Stripe getting into the wall. It's known to be a tough racetrack, and it's known to eat up right sides, right fronts. It was just being able to back it down, as weird as it sounds. Slow is fast here. Just being able to roll through each corner, and the corners are different, so you got to run each end of the track a little different. But 1 and 2, just kind of sweep it through. Make sure you're hitting that kind of that dashed white line going in with the left front, and then arc it kind of wide without hitting the wall. I definitely, when I was doing that, I was just off the throttle, just letting it roll, not trying to get back in too early to have it, either, accidentally push up the track, or, I would even back my entry up all the way, a extra car width or two, just to make sure that I was not getting into the wall, and as well as saving my stuff. And 3 and 4 is just 3 and 4. You just don't want to slide up too much. I was definitely letting off really early, getting to the brakes really early, just to keep it out of the wall, and stuff like that. And the bottom would work; it would burn up stuff more, but I would run it occasionally just to keep myself from getting close to the wall. Um, but yeah, it may look different from the broadcast from inside the car, but I know that we're wheeling these things pretty well through each corner. It's not just a kind of casual left turn through the corner. It's wheels going back and forth quite a lot.
Yeah, Andrew, it definitely looked like a handful. I know a couple times off of turn 2, you're sideways on off trying to get the best run you could. But with these throwback schemes tonight, we saw a lot of sweet ones out here. I talked a little bit about yours from my knowledge. You mind explaining yours for a minute here?
Yeah, this one's really close to me personally. This is based off of one of my real life cars that I raced a few years back. It was actually the first win I got in the mini cup cars, back when I was 13 or 14, on a road course of all places for my first win in those cars. But it's really special. I'm carrying a name above the door, Uncle Paul. Um, he really helped me, especially getting into the mini cups. He was a huge help, and he coached me, and built a ton of our cars from the ground up, rebuilt stuff, and he designed and painted this car in real life, and for the mini cup, and I wanted to run it this weekend. It means a lot, and I'm definitely glad I was able to just keep it clean, and the bonus of putting it in victory lane.
Well, cool stuff there from Andrew Payne in the 93 camp. But before we let you go and celebrate down in victory lane with all your crew guys, I'm sure there's got to be some more people you got to thank for this win here tonight.
First of all, our title sponsors, Tagare Property Management, Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, Mountain Dew. They help keep the league series going, and allow us to be here. Huge thank you to you guys, Brett and Carson, up at turn 3. and Turn 3 for broadcasting the series. Some personal sponsors of mine, V&H Fresh, Citrus Heights Saw and Mower, Hall Metal Fab, QuickTime. My parents and grandparents from, support me from real life racing to sim racing, wouldn't be here without them getting me into racing. The admins and the fellow league members for continually supporting the league and coming out and showing up to these events.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, Andrew, go enjoy your third win in a row. We'll be back down to party with you here once we wrap on up here in the booth.
All right, thank you, Brett. And I do got one more thing really quick. Just so it's not some questions. This is my last race. As a competitor, I'll be taking a step back and resuming a full-time admin role for the series. So I'll still be here on Monday nights, but I won't be out on the car or won't be out on the track. So if I just randomly disappear, that's why. But I'll still be here watching and assuming a full-time admin role from here on out.
Well, that's awesome of you, Andrew, to definitely will make this series stronger, and I look forward to the changes. Appreciate your effort and can't wait to see what it's entail for this Tagare Sportsman series. But what a way to go out on 3 in a row. Can't ask for much more than that.
Yep, and thank you guys and stuff like that for everything and stuff like that. And it was fun, but definitely got to take that step back and make this series even better than it already is.
Awesome, Andrew. Well, go enjoy it down in Victory Lane, as I know it'll be a heartfelt one then for sure, and I'm sure we'll talk to you on the flip side. So have a good rest of your night and go enjoy it.
Yep, thank you, Brett.
Alrighty, Carson. That was our race winner, Andrew Payne. Now we'll start to wrap up the post-race show, but some awesome stuff out of everything. Carson, what'd you think of the race?
Brett, I thought it was a really good race here tonight. I thought Andrew was going to be hard to catch, but we saw a few guys give him some runs. A run early and then a run there by Tanner late, but no one quite had enough to catch that 93 machine. So all in all, it was a great race.
Yep, and what a turn of events if he does decide to retire from the season to take on the full admin role, because he has been on a hot streak here. As we will go through the race results, of course, we have Andrew Payne, the Payne Train, bringing it home down in Victory Lane. Finishing runner-up, we got Tanner Tallarico in the 1. Finishing third, the final podium spot, we got Eric Papineau in the 43. Finishing in 4th, the first time out here in the Sportsman Series, we got Brian Wilderson in the 951. A great run from him out here tonight for his first time out here, Carson. Hopefully we'll see Brian out here more. And rounding out your top 5, we got Kyle Munson in the 28.
Then to pick up from there in 6th place, we have the 710 machine of Dan Parmley. In 7th place was my pick earlier in the night. Not quite the best finish for him, but it was the 52 car of Austin Nielsen. In 8th place is the 973 of Steve Seegers. In 9th place was the 5 car of Nathan Goot. And then he was the first car lap down. And then rounding out your top 10, 2 laps down, was the 94 of Jeff O'Quinn.
Bringing it home, P11 is Justin Callahan in the 75. 12th place was Nathan Henry in the 59. 13th was Adam Smith in the 974. 14th was John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce. Rounding out your top 15 was Al Smith in the 96 with some connection issues.
And then to pick up from there, to round off go through the end of the field, we have in 16th was the 81 car of Garrett Austin. In 17th was the 958 of Dylan Butler, an early disconnect. And then rounding out your field was the 051 of Ron Hart, and 18th, another one who was a disconnect.
Yep, Carson. So overall, another great race. What a way to put this show on. Darlington, always action-packed. We didn't have too many yellows, but we, of course, had the close racing and all the cars painting the fence here tonight. Some big takeaways, big shakeups coming here in 2 weeks. And I'm looking forward to every minute of it when we see everyone back here after a little hiatus for the holidays.
Yeah, bro, I forgot to remark that Nathan Goot was the Blue Division winner, so he was the Blue Division winner here tonight. But yeah, with 2 weeks off, we'll have to see how fresh drivers are coming into the next race. When hopefully we'll see all the drivers back, all the fans back, and it should be a lot of fun to pick up the season from there.
Yep, and when we come back, a very tough track, Carson, Rockingham Motor Speedway. So not going to be easy on these drivers to get back in the groove, that's for sure. As we will go wrap on up, of course, we got to thank all the title sponsors here that makes this happen. We got to thank Tagare Property Management. Got to give a big shout out to those to be the series sponsor. Be sure if you're looking for any property in the Carolina regions, be sure to check out Tagare Property Management. Got to give a big shout out to PepsiCo. Be sure if you get a drink, make sure it's a Pepsi. And then, of course, to go with that Pepsi product, you always got to get a Frito-Lay snack. I know I got to love some doubling down on both those. Gotta represent. Then, of course, if you're looking for a sweet paint scheme out here in the virtual racing world, be sure to check out our next sponsor, QuickTime Motorsports Media. Also, if you're looking to get a tune-up on your real-life race car, gotta go to the one place that knows it all, the Mike's Custom Shop and Garage and Speed Shop. Then we gotta give a big shout-out to one of the best gangs on dirt, the 399 Esports. Those guys go out there and put on a show on Tuesday night. So, Carson, got to give a shout out to you. Thank you for being in the booth. Always a pleasure. Got to give a shout out to all the competitors that showed up here tonight. Everyone that makes ASRC around. Got to give a shout out to all the viewers, all the replay viewers, all the Brett the Jet fans out there. All you guys, appreciate every single one of you. Got to give a shout out to Debbie, Tim, Roger, all in the comments. Always love all of the YouTube chat land stuff. And Carson, I'm excited to have a little break, but I'm even more excited to come back to Rockingham here.
Yeah, bro, Rockingham will be quite the show to come back to, but I'm very excited as well. It was a lot of fun broadcasting with you tonight. All the ASRC fans in the chat, have a good night. All your rewatchers as well, and yeah, looking forward to Rockingham here in a few weeks. Should be a lot of fun.
Yep. And from everyone in the booth and at Turn 3 Racing Network, have a safe rest of your night. Hope you enjoy it. Be sure to check out some of the other commenters. Always great stuff on this channel. And remember, folks, stay safe and just flew by you. Have a good night.